Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Whoa.
What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con-Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Sunday, and man, it is a new environment. It is a new landscape in the world of professional wrestling, because today, this day, is the very first day that the last real champion, the never seen 17 himself, John Cena, is no longer an active competitor in the WWE. Last night was his final match in Washington, D.C. against Gunther. Man, a lot of thoughts going into that match. A lot of thoughts as I was watching that match. I was emotional just like everybody else. They did a real good job, in my opinion, of honoring him. The undercard was great, but there's still some questions I think a lot of people have had about the ending and just the retirement tour itself. We're going to talk about that and so much more. And joining me as he does every week, he's the producer of the show. He is the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? Are you a goblin of chaos out there because you're a friend of mine? It is true. The era of John Cena is gone. And questions are had still at the end of this when we thought we were going to get all the answers. But a phenomenal night. Don't care about your negative criticisms because it was a magical night. It was a well-honored moment of John Cena's career. And to everybody booing Trips, fuck you. Fuck you. You assholes. Trips is a god, and I can't wait for him to have his moment where he steps away from everything and we get to honor him, because all of you who were booing him will be cheering in that moment and scrounging around to get those tickets to that show. So you fake news, I don't give a shit about you. I love it, Howse. I love it.
Oh man, we got OG Tony here in the chat. What is up, brother man? We appreciate you dropping in. How are you feeling about the ending of John Cena's final match? We're going to talk about that once again, but real quick, there's some things I want to get into because I feel like, voice, that a lot of the theme of last night's edition of Saturday Night Main Event, which, by the way, I feel like this goes without saying, but by far my favorite Saturday Night Main Event of the entire year. That just, it's not even close to me. A lot of great talents were featured. And man, listen, I want to jump real quick right to Sol Ruka because listen, bro, listen, I know this is John Cena's final match, bro. But I know also that John Cena, he's been saying it in all of the interviews and everything that he wants to give back to the business. He wants to leave the business better than he found it, and he wants to create new stars. And I got to tell you, voice, and I'm going to get your thoughts on it, but in my opinion, Sol Ruka had a star making performance last night.
Gosh, you are 100% on that one. Uh, Sol Ruka, I know there's some commentators out there who were understandably confused about her being picked for this. I can understand that because
I was a little confused myself. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
I'm not going
I
to
mean,
lie.
a lot of people that I respect their opinions were, and I agree. There was some questioning, but also I've seen her do some pretty cool shit
Oh, she does
um,
amazing
in her
things.
matches. So to me, I did the math and I said Bailey, a trusted Swiss Army knife of the WWE women's division, not only as a competitor, but as somebody to help the younger talent get forward,
Yeah.
to help push somebody. So when I seen Bailey's name in that equation, I said, this is going to be what I've said on many shows. Sol Ruka's 5 minutes in which she is going to make an impact, and
Yeah.
which she did. That snatcher at the very end was
So well timed.
so well timed and so beautiful. It's so beautiful to the point I think Bailey was like, "Whoa, that was awesome." Even though it happened to her, I think I that ending of that match, the last like 2 to 3 minutes of just fluid movements,
Yeah.
moments, to me, that should have cemented the reason why Soul was put on to get the rub from the last John Cena moment ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, if there were any questions, they were absolutely answered last night for sure. It's just like OG Tony is saying, stars were made and the biggest heel in the company was made last night. I absolutely agree with that statement. And a little bit later on, I'm going to tell you exactly why when we get to John Cena and Gunther. But still staying here with Sol Ruka, I feel like that at this point, bro, like, and maybe I'm wrong, but all those kids, those that young talent, that new fresh talent, you got to call them up after that, bro. Like I mean, listen, man, listen, just hear me out here because Javon Evans is already looking like he's about to be a top star. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, the dude speaks to an entire generation of young people. He talks their dialect, he speaks their language, he's exciting, he's like he's got, you know what I'm saying? But it's like he's just an excited young kid who is just a vibe, walks to the beat of his own drum and just has amazing matches. And he's right now, like, as much as we want to say he's the future, it's quickly becoming, it's quickly coming to my mind that the kid is the right now.
Hmm. I like how you say that. The right now, the moments I would like you all to reverse back into your head, like Jey Uso. You know, let's go back in time. To me, the guys who were one of a kind and made a big splash into the WWE and changed the game to where a lot of your smaller guys came in and were champions, and a lot of your guys who might have been a high flyer were able to. You were able to get a grappler as your champion, as instead of just the big man in your roster being your champion. Was RVD. RVD through ECW into when he came into the WWE, to me shows that his progression, his just stick to being RVD,
Yep.
paved the way for Evans to be this type of energy. He is a young talent. If you don't understand him, it's because you're sitting on the porch telling kids to get off your lawn. This kid speaks their language,
Yep.
does their little dances.
All
He
everything.
he gets it.
Everything.
But if we're looking to change wrestling, like I hear a lot of you yahoos out there on a microphone in your basement say, then this is your golden ticket. Oh,
This
it's a
is it.
golden ticket. Willy Wonka just opened up the factory and said, "Come the fuck in." And what are you guys doing? You're bitching about him. You're whining. You're complaining. You're saying, "Oh, why does he get this? Why is he here?" Because the motherfucker's bouncy. That's why he's there. He's
He's bouncy,
exciting.
bro.
He's entertaining. His entrance brings excitement to
Yes, it
the
does.
fans. That is your job. He does it well. Give the kid a bonus. Put him on the main roster.
Dude, put him on the main roster because even like you talk about, yeah, I love what you said because he just feels like he's ready. His entrance, when all the words to describe him come onto the screen or whatever, and then boom, he's up in the camera's face. Ah! And then he's just cool, he's cool, calm, collected, it's just he gets it, dude. Like he knows who he is. Put him on TV weekly right now, especially now that John Cena's time is up and you need new stars to go into the future. If you're trying to get people to buy ESPN to watch your PLEs, Javon Evans is, I'm telling you, he's a guy. He's a guy. A
I,
guy.
I agree with you. I take this however you want, fans. Javon Evans' name will last longer than Slater's,
Yeah.
than Leon. And
Oh, yeah.
the reason I'm saying this is because as a fan of wrestling, I don't care about any type of things when it comes to skin tone or things like that, or opinions outside of the fucking entertainment circle I'm watching. Javon Evans is a different unicorn. He is not you can find
He
unicorns.
appeals to everybody.
He's the unicorn unicorns are looking after,
Yep.
and they're trying to get shown. I'm telling you right now, somebody, if it's not WWE, somebody needs to take this kid and just get him as much as you possibly can right now, because
Yeah.
it's only going to make his future even brighter. I'm telling you, this is one of those guys we have to grab and push forward.
Yeah. Yep.
He's in this
When
day and
it's
age,
working, it's working.
he's going to be what keeps guys like me and you coming to the product.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Because I'm already finding, and here's the thing, bro. Like we talk about everything here and we always will, but I'm already finding talents in AEW that I'm like, okay, you're the reason why I want to watch every week. Like Kyle Fletcher, forget about it. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? But like, who's gonna be those guys as the time moves forward in the WWE? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the question. Yes, we have our Dominic Mysterios. Yes, we have our Braun Breakers, but we need guys that transcend just all sorts of different generations and
Yes.
different and you know what I'm saying, and different creeds and stuff. And I feel like Javon Evans is that guy. Like no matter what race you are, whatever have you, you just can't help but think the kid is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he talks, the way he carries himself with the positivity he carries himself with, the youthful exuberance that he carries himself with, even little funny moments with Miz on SmackDown when he was like, calm down, Unc. And Miz was like, I am not Unc. I'll never be Unc.
Yep.
And I'm like, look at you're already having moments with somebody as established like the Miz. Like he gets it. He's there, bro. And I feel like with all the stuff that we're saying is what John Cena sees, and that's exactly why he was on the card last night.
That's exactly why I've been saying that for this past week. The rub of this moment will be way more impactful than a match.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
will. I'm count. I know that we had Javon, all those guys, Leon and Dragon Lee and AJ Styles put on the best match of the night.
Amazing. I loved it.
It was the best match of the night.
Yeah.
They did their work, they did all that, but I'm telling you right now, Javon Evans is the one who shined the most in that. And a lot of it had to do with just his energy he brings to a match. If we're trying to keep this thing going in the way that we've come accustomed to, Javon Evans is the way to go. I mean, just picture him going up against bigger guys like even Gunther. I would
Yeah.
love to see it. I would love to see him try to overcome in a big main event match, just with that energy alone. It's a very powerful to have a young talent like him on your roster.
100%. No, you're absolutely right. I think we all see it. I think that these, honestly, in my honest opinion, all these cats, I would stick them right on SmackDown because SmackDown has a need right now, like real bad. They have a need right now, like real bad. It their show. I would still argue and say that it's still the second most watched weekly wrestling program, but yeah, I don't know, bro. People were dipping on SmackDown. Like Raw is, everybody has Netflix. Raw's easy to watch. SmackDown's not so easy to watch. And they're going back to 3 hours, and that's great and everything. But like, what are you filling those 3 hours with? Because you guys are boring me with 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to 3 hours and you add Obafemi, you add Javon Evans, you add Sol Ruka. Maybe Gunther's next path is to fight Cody instead of going back to Raw and probably doing nothing, like what's going to be next? That's the question I have too. What's next for Gunther past retiring John Cena? I mean, for me, it makes the most sense for him to come after Cody next, but we'll talk about that. But like, let me ask you, as far as like the moments of the night. You have Joe Hendry who showed up in a segment with Miz and R Truth, which I thought was a great moment. I enjoyed it. Miz got his spot on John Cena's last match, as he should, being one of John Cena's greatest rivals, and in such a Miz fashion to come on and interrupt the show and just complain about it, and then you took somebody's spot. I loved it. You took somebody's spot. R Truth comes out, and he said his name, and he appeared, and it was just a great moment. It was perfect, and yeah, just another spot for another young talent there. So, who do you? I'll ask this. I want to put it like this: who do you think out of Obafemi, uh, Javon Evans, Sol Ruka, Leon Slater, and Joe Hendry, out of those five young talents, who do you think benefited and will benefit the most from just appearing on this show? Just appearing. I don't care about the outcome.
Just appearing, I would have to give it to Joe
Okay.
because he did capsulate a moment in which John Cena had one of his biggest rivalries, and that was with The Miz. The Miz also helped in that moment. So I kind of give it to Joe just because you added the who's it going to benefit in the future, and I think they're really putting forth a solid effort to make Joe Hendry a household name.
Yeah.
And this is proof with he did not have a match. He had
Nope.
a makeshift match,
He had a
which
moment.
the rub is sometimes better than just having a match.
Yep.
Um, but for me as a fan, in my personal like what I'm watching, who gave me more of an I'm going to look more into. Um, it's a toss up between Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Okay. Okay.
I like them, and I knew I liked them because I've seen their matches. But the most important thing for me, and I say it all the time, I know some of you fans are tired of it, but is the 5 minutes. And the reason I say that is because the opening of that match, those young talents did exactly what young people who would be in a bar fight at an old bar where it's just nothing but grown men who are patrons and they just want to fight. They fucking went guns a blazing. Let's see how much destruction we can do to these old men
Yeah,
before the bell rings. And I loved it. I
I loved it
loved
too.
I thought that was you're hitting on reality with me. So if you can hit on reality and you can touch that nerve, I know there's something there. So for me, those two are who I'm going to look at. I'm not saying I'm going to quit looking at Sol Ruka and what her career and all her matches. She's amazing. Or
Oh yeah,
Obafemi. I loved what he did. I thought his match was great. I thought it should have put a lot of critics to rest that were saying, why is he in this match? Why does he get this opportunity?
yeah,
Where are we at? I thought he did great. The fact that he busted Cody open and it wasn't like on your head, it was on
yeah.
behind the
Like
ear.
to hear, yeah,
That's going to play into something. They're going to be able to go into that. Cody's going to be able to use that in future promos. He could go into a Cactus Jack thing because it's a famous story of Jack losing half of his ear in a fucking hangman in the ropes. There's a lot of things that this show really put forth into the future and
yeah.
possibilities of the future. And that's what I loved about this the most.
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this, bro, because I like what OG Tony is saying here. I love what you're saying because I think that those kids really are gonna benefit a lot of that in the future. Leon Slater is definitely going to benefit and go super because right now he's just in TNA. And
Yeah.
that's no disrespect to TNA, but this dude is a TNA superstar, not even signed with the company, and he showed up on John Cena's final match card. That's crazy to me.
The
You
rub.
know what I'm saying? It's the rub, you know. But like, here's the thing, bro. Like, Obafemi, I want to stay with him real quick because not only did he stand his own with the WWE champion, he stood toe to toe and looked legit with Drew McIntyre when Drew got involved. And already, like, you can stick Obafemi in the main event slot right now in SmackDown, and everybody's gonna be like, smart people who saw the show and understand would be like, okay, I understand why. Because why would he not be pissed at Drew McIntyre? He cost him a match against
Yep.
Cody. You know what I'm saying? You can slide him in now. You can take Obafemi and just naturally slide him in the main event slot because he looks believable. His promo on Friday Night SmackDown against Cody was super solid. He had a super solid. He proved that he could be in that spot. So why not just put him there? You know what I'm saying? Let's try it. Let's fuck around and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to try some stuff. Playing it safe when you're asking people to spend all this money is not the move. We don't want to play safe. Let's play dangerous a little bit. Let's try some things. And I think that you set up Obafemi perfectly to just come right into the main event slot, and it'll work. It will work.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we have Nick chiming in. He thought the event was a great way to pay it forward. He loved that.
Oh yeah.
Um, he also has some critiques on Oba. If you follow Nick's show, yeah, I've heard the critiques. I get it. But I also think this kind of proved exactly what you're saying, House. I mean, you just inserted someone who's been boring me for storyline after storyline because it's a blood feud.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
man.
angry. Okay, so now he just gave another guy a reason to become the hunter.
Yep.
And
There
now
it is right
Drew
there.
has become the hunted, in
Yep.
which he is the chaser. There's no title on the line with that. But let me pitch this idea to you. What if a title gets thrown on the line? And what if Drew McIntyre beats Oba and Drew has to be the NXT champion? Am I right?
Yeah.
If he beats Oba,
He's a former NXT champion.
he would be another
He'd
NXT
be the NXT
champion
champion
if he
again.
beats Oba. And then let's say Oba decides that's a way to break off and go onto the main roster.
And then you could have Drew McIntyre be the guy on NXT for a while,
Build.
which I think he would need something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Drew would need to be a guy somewhere because it's like, as much as they keep going with Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, it still feel like they don't want to go with them. So maybe do it on NXT again, and it would rejuvenate Drew a little bit. He'd be able to work with some young guys, some young talent, mix it up with them. It's a possibility. But man, I just think with Oba, you got to go with it. I hear some of the critiques, but I do believe that if you put him in the mix right now and just let him promo from the heart, let him be intense, he's going to turn heads. He's already pretty much over. There's already people in the crowd doing this. Who when he's cutting promos and finishing up sentences and stuff. Like they're not hitting him with what? They're hitting him with who. So, bro, to me, that proves to me he's already somewhat over. And if he's already getting some of his stuff chanted like Javon Evans, anytime his music plays, now everybody's saying your boy is bouncy, and they're saying it in the crowd now too. And I'm like, why would you cool that off?
Yeah.
Why would you cool that off? Keep going. Keep going with it.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. And I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand critiques. I get that. But I also understand that there's a lot of people out there who said that they're ready for the change of the landscape.
Yep.
I'm telling you
How
right
we how we
now,
getting there? How are we getting there then?
how do
If
we
it's
get
not if
there?
it's not this if it's not with this crop of talent that was on the show, tell me how we getting there.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know how true the reports are, but there's a lot out there saying Brock has said SummerSlam 2026 is his retirement match.
Okay. Okay. So
But
something
again,
and then
it's rumors. Go out there, look it up.
I've
I've
seen it.
seen I've seen two places say it. So who replaces Brock? Who replaces your
Exactly.
monster?
Exactly. You got Brock going out the door possibly in 2026. AJ Styles going out the door in 2026. Like, come on, bro. What was this show if not the perfect opportunity to do call-ups?
Yep.
SmackDown's about to go to 3 hours, and it's not exciting right now outside of Ilya Dragunov and the stuff that he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot that the Wyatts were the tag team champions. I just forgot. Listen. The Wyatt Six could be wrestling outside my window, and I wouldn't even open up the shades. That's where we're at right now. After having a banger tag team division, that's where we're at right now. Cody keeps going back and forth with Drew McIntyre. That's not exciting right now. There's not really much going on with that right now. Yeah, you have some of the stories moving along kind of for the women's tag team championship division, but they're really doing all the big matches for the women's tag team division on Monday Night Raw. So you're only using SmackDown to kind of move the stories along. Like, there's not really a whole lot of exciting things happening outside of Ilya Dragunov and his title reign and the amazing string of matches that he's putting together as the U.S. champion. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're about to go to 3 hours. You just had this perfect, like, why would you not do that? Why would you not do it? Why are you? That's the thing, bro. I just don't understand what, like, everybody's saying that the focal point of 2026 is going to be the next crop of talent because we have a huge crop of talent, a whole generation of talent that's going outside the door. What was this event if not the perfect opportunity to bring up some new faces and let them have an opportunity to try to make themselves into a household name like John Cena was given that opportunity in 2002?
I dude, it blows my mind when I see all the bitching, and I'm like, wait a minute. So they give you what you want, you bitch. They take away what we want, that we bitch. When do we go? Good job, good job.
Exactly. Like, and I think that that's a moment that Triple H understood when he came in and he hugged Cena at the end of the match and whatnot. And when they booed the hell out of him, bro. Like the
Fucking
hell out
nerds.
of him. And he just laughed it off because I think that
He
he
did.
realizes, bro, like two like that's so crazy, bro. Because 2 years ago they would lick Triple H's piss off the ground, bro.
Oh, yep. They were like, oh, he's the savior.
He's
Oh,
everything, bro.
and now they're like, fuck you,
We
Triple H.
hate you, bro.
You know
Like,
what? They get this one, House. We got to hit them with it.
Go outside, nerd. Get up. Go.
come on,
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
Get on
bro.
outside, nerds.
Get out, bro. Because, like, listen, I get it. There's a lot of people that's not happy with how John Cena's retirement tour went. And I think John went into it with an understanding that it's not going to completely be under his control. You know what I'm saying? they have to stay within WWE storylines, and then they have buildings that are already booked out. The Boo Patrol got haterade 24/7. Pin that. Here we go.
You get
Pin the
stars,
comment.
Daniel.
You get it. You get it, DG. You're the man. But listen, bro, there's just so much that goes into this that is outside of Cena's control, and he even said it himself during he did a huge like wave of interviews and stuff. He was on CVV, he was on Joe Rogan, he was on Pat McAfee, he was on everything, bro. Like he was on all the podcasts talking about it. And he even said outside of like Cody and Logan Paul, everything else was pivots. Everything else was pivots. So that means Randy Orton was a pivot. CM Punk was a pivot. AJ Styles was a pivot, and they had what
That's crazy.
people was calling match of the year. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Dominic Mysterio was a pivot, and it was a great move because it elevated Dom. I get it. There's stuff people didn't like about the tour, but with what he had control of, he did everything the right way that he possibly could. And like you can't fault him for the heel run. The heel turn was amazing. The heel run fell short because people didn't want to, they didn't want to stick. They didn't want to put their whole arm in the situation, bro. Like they didn't want to commit to the situation, so he had to work with what he had. And even then, I still didn't think it was that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Made
was
me a fan.
yeah, and then because of that moment, we had people appreciating John Cena even more starting at SummerSlam when we were like, oh, we're so excited to see the exuberant, excited John Cena running down the aisle. We're popping for the run. Like, I was like, I already knew when he ran down the aisle last night, like I already had tears in my eyes, bro. I won't even lie. Like I'm like, dang, the run, it's over. This is the last time we see him to run down the aisle. And like I just don't understand. Like I get it. It's always gonna be open. Always gonna be open to criticism and whatnot. But I truly think he gave us the very best of what he could give us.
Yeah, this retirement tour. Uh, so many things we could Monday quarterback.
Oh yeah,
We can just sit there and we can
armchair
say,
it, bro.
yeah, I mean, it's so easy to do that. I mean, we talked about it. We wish they would have done for the tournament that the AEW Continental Classic style, to where
Yeah,
there's a point system, and then that gets you into a tournament throughout the year. I mean, that would, to me, you would have been even building up bigger to this. But I'm not a writer. I'm not in control of any of the creative. I said just recently, his heel turn made me a fan of his, and it did,
yeah.
because it showed me that in this last moment that he has left in this year, he was willing to take the risk. He was willing to do those things that critics said he was not doing during his run, and the things that some said that he held back some people during his run when he was John Cena, the monster, the mountain,
Super Cena,
the
yeah.
Super Cena. But he didn't do that this time. He corrected a lot of the wrongs. You said he did went on a podcast tour, and he did. He sat down with Rogan, in which I sat and listened to, and one of my biggest criticism of his was the whole Taiwan incident, in which he said he claimed in a promo that Taiwan was a country. Certain people over in Japan and China do not believe that. So there was criticism. He had to make an apology. Unbeknownst to me, he was just given things to read, and he was just doing mass readings at the time. And feeling himself and learning a difficult language, he thought he had a good grasp on it. That is a human way to explain something that critics could say you did wrong. And if I'm a critic in this business and somebody corrects their actions, shouldn't I give them that pathway to redemption? Isn't that what this is all about? Look, we can make mistakes, but there has to be a pathway for redemption, whether it be your own pathway or society's. There has to be a way, or evil will just stay evil and they'll do evil things because there's no way to get good again.
There's no way to be good.
So by that math, John Cena has created, he solved the riddle for me in which I was looking at him. And I respect what he has done. His career was phenomenal. I said, no one will ever touch the heights he's touched. He's reached mountaintops past Hogan, past everybody before him. And you have to give credit where credit is due. This was a fantastic match. I loved it because I love wrestling. This was a wrestler's match. This was good versus evil, heel versus face. The last ditch effort for that face to get that last win, only to be ripped apart from that heel. So the heel can have a bigger heel run.
Yep.
It's all continuing the story. It's not continuing the person in the story. Chapters change, trilogies are born. You have to understand that if you love this business. If you don't, then you're just a talking moron who, for some reason, you have over 100,000 followers. I have no clue how, but you do.
Hey, man, it's all about that. It's because we don't appeal to the shock jock, hit clickbaity, headliney crap. Like, I, I, I'd rather get up there. I know there's a path for guys like us on our own merit without having to do any of that disgusting crap. But, listen, I love what you were saying about everything that John Cena had during his match and what went into it, the old school nature of the match, good versus evil, the ultimate good versus the guy who shuts down any good who comes his way, and what story that continues. This felt basically like Goku versus Cell. That's kind of how it felt to me. And we're going to talk about the match because I want to break down the match. I want to break down the ending. I want to talk more about the IWC's reaction to John Cena tapping out, their reaction to Triple H, the boos that he got. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about so much more as far as that match because I have feelings on the match. I know Voice has feelings on the match, and that's why we want to give the second slot of this show fully to the match, fully to things that happened post-match and our thoughts on it. Hey, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to get to it here in about a second. But first, we're going to take a break, pay a few bills. When we come back, we're going to talk about not just the event now, because we've talked about it. We're going to talk about the actual final match of the never-seen 17, John Cena.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live.
In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood.
Emerge faithful, we're coming out to Emerge 91 Blood and Bone. Since 2019, I have been the executive producer of the In Your House podcast. Since 2021, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. The honor and the privilege to tell all of you right here in the middle of this ring that Emerge Wrestling, in collaboration with the In Your House Network, will be at the Squared Circle Expo this March in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Emerge Wrestling is in your house. We'll see you in March.
Hey, yo, Connie, your house. Hollywood in your house.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, and this is the Sunday house party, and I'm hanging out with my man, The Voice, Josh Joseph. We are talking John Cena's final match, and what an event that it was. Once again, if you hadn't listened to us on the first half of the episode, we thought the undercard was great. It was just a 4-match card. I also enjoy the fact that John Cena didn't make us have to watch it on ESPN. He made it accessible to everybody by making it on Saturday night's main event, network television, Peacock, easy to watch. Thank you, John Cena. You're the man in every possible way, because you really tried to make this easy on us and not make us wait to the Rumble, not make us wait to WrestleMania. You said, hey, in December, I'm done. I'm sticking to my word. I respect that. John Cena, you're the fucking man, bro. Like, you've always stood on business. Even when I wasn't rocking with you, I still got to thank you. Because if it wasn't for you taking over the WWE and making me bored with it, I wouldn't have went to Ring of Honor. I wouldn't have went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I wouldn't have been anti-WWE like I was in my younger years. But man, listen, you can't blame me. I grew up a WCW kid. But listen, we are going to keep on rolling, because even though John Cena isn't going anymore, hey, we got to keep on going, and I'm glad to be able to keep on going and running it back with goalie nutrition, goalie gummies, and everything that comes with them, keeping that focus with the Matcha Mind gummies, that energy with the apple cider vinegar, and being able to restore and unwind when it comes to the ashwagandha gummies. Hey, listen, go to goalie.com, and you can go to checkout and enter promo code IYH. Get 10% off. Let them know that In Your House sent you, and check out everything that we're doing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook Live. You have no reason to miss out on what we're doing, because we're everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And man, once again, like I said, one thing that I loved about John Cena's final match is that it was accessible everywhere. You could get to it. It was on Peacock. It was on network television. It was on regular national television. So that's great. Appreciate you for that, John Cena. And let's talk about the match now, because listen, man, I see it all the time, and I've been in the wrestling circles and been involved with the IWC in many different corners of the IWC for many, many years. You know, I'm a wrestling nerd, bro. I grew up in many groups, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, pause for a real quick second before we get into the match, because I'm saying how I am been involved with many different groups, such as groups that I came up in, Better Than You Wrestling Discussion. I just wanted to stop real quick and say rest in peace to a friend of mine, Ed Easton Jr., who I came up with in those groups. Never met him in person. He lived in Arizona. And when we met, I was living in Ohio, transitioning to Indiana, and we were in the same wrestling groups together and always talking wrestling every day. Just a, regular group of friends that came together from different areas of the country, being in a group, talking wrestling, and you develop friendships from that. So I just wanted to shout out real quick and say rest in peace to Ed Easton Jr. He always was a fan of In Your House and checked out everything that we did. So yeah, while I'm here, I just want to say this episode has been and will continue to be dedicated to his memory. So I just wanted to say that real quick, because he just passed just a few days ago. And once again, he's a well-known wrestling fan in many different wrestling circles, and I had nothing but good interactions with the man. So nothing but condolences and respect to him and his family, and everything that they're going through right now. But listen, man, John Cena, his final match. I think that if Ed were here, I think he'd have a lot of thoughts on it because it was controversial. But I also feel like the match itself was a really good match, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. It was a main event match. It was a wrestling match. That's what we come to love about this stuff. You had your massive heel who just seemed like it was his time to take over and become the monster that we're hoping he does become, if he's not already there for some of you. Um, but then you also have that chance. It's John motherfucking Cena.
Yep.
There's a reason I dislike him. And yes, OG Tony, I let me hit that first. Prayers to
Yes.
his family. Yes. I never met the man, never spoke with him, but I understand wrestling. And so that means that the wrestling world lost a brother in which what we do,
Yep.
with commenting and things like that. So to his family, I hope you find some type of happiness soon, some type of way to make this a bright moment and not such a sad moment. Um, but back to John Cena, he is John Cena. He is the man who has taken shots from people, title shots from people that I was a fan of because
Yeah.
of
Oh
his
yeah.
popularity, because of his in ring work, because of his hustle, loyalty, respect. So he had a chance to possibly win on going out. And it's weird because there's very few, if ever, of somebody retiring where they go out on top. It's almost like a unspoken rule.
Yep. You got it on your back, bro.
You go out on your back. You leave the shoes in the ring.
Yep.
You know
If there's
what
any
you do.
armbands, you take them off, you leave them there.
Yeah, it's a it's a moment shared amongst men and women who do this day in, day out, put their bodies through so much trauma and just like head on collisions. It's insane. But this
Yeah.
is a time honored thing. And it felt like maybe there's a chance tradition can change.
Yeah.
John Cena is somebody who is just he's bigger than mountains, he's bigger than moments. And in this moment there was that idea. Now, did that idea happen? He's stupid. I mean, come on. You have to bring an army to take that dude down.
Yeah.
But the match itself, I loved it. I loved the chain wrestling. I loved the moments that they paused for the fans to enjoy the moment.
The moment. Yep.
The moments where Gunther paused so the fans could see the destruction in which he was creating in front of their eyes, the hero he was
Yep.
destroying. Um, Thank you for joining us,
Hey.
Layden.
Hey, Landon.
Landon. Thank you for joining us. We're talking John Cena's final match right now. But I loved this match, made me think of old school wrestling, man. This made me think of
Yeah.
a big main event. The only thing it was missing was Bruce Buffer announcing it. But I loved it. It was fan fucking tastic. One of this would be in this year. I would say, in my opinion, John Cena had two of the best matches this year. AJ Styles and this final match. If you're a
Yeah.
wrestling fan, go back and rewatch it. Look
Give it
at it.
another watch.
Look at
Seriously.
it from your eyes of watching a great wrestling match and see where it unfolds. Where do you
I
land on the end of it?
I like how you said that. Like you have to watch it in a different angle because when you watch wrestling uh live, you know what I'm saying? You're watching it because you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I want to see if because this is today's wrestling, so you're always looking for the next with the like. But when you sit down and watch an old match, you're not like, oh, what's gonna, because you know what's gonna happen next. You're just rewatching the match because you want to watch it from different lenses. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just like when we watch ECW, and it's stuff that you've watched. You know what I'm saying? But I watch it we for the first time, but you're watching it again. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You're watching it from different lenses, and that's what makes the scope of the ECW watch along well. But it's all in the same. If you go back and watch this match, just like Voice said, knowing that you're gonna watch a great match instead of wondering what the payoff is gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just watch the match, and you'll see that the match, like OG Tony said, was well put together, very old school style. The ultimate good versus the ultimate evil, the young supervillain coming and taking down Superman for the last time. It's once again Goku. So I watched Dragon Ball Z back in the day, and I remember the Cell Saga, and I feel like the biggest thing that came from the Cell Saga was that at the end of the day, Goku met an evil that he could not defeat. You know what I'm saying? So who defeated the evil? The next up and comer, the future, Gohan. You know what I'm saying? And even though
Yeah.
Gohan went on to become a family man and did all this stuff and didn't really get as strong as he could have got, the fact of the matter
Fucking
is
Gohan.
he was the hero in that moment. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The new hero in that moment. And John Cena was able to tap out with a smile on his face and say, "You know what? To me, let's talk about it." To me, it was like he tapped out and was like, I could get this off me, bro. Like, finally, like not in a way to where he does not respect and love wrestling, but he's like,
Yeah.
I did my part. I'm trying to leave it better than what I found it. I was ready to be done with wrestling, but I know I had to do it a certain way because people talk. You know what I'm saying? When you just leave out the blue, like what Rock did, look, just a lot of people got a bad taste in their mouth about The Rock because it seems like he left and didn't really enhance the business. You know what I'm saying? I think John understood there was a certain way they needed to go out. I don't think we've ever seen somebody that big go out in that way and stay retired. We saw it. WWE doesn't do send-offs like that regularly. This is not something they normally do. John Cena went out, did it the right way. And trust me, it hit different for somebody who was just a part of that with Sam's. And then seeing one of those on TV, it hit different. For everybody to come out and smack the mat and everything and give him that respect, like that was one of the most old school retirements I've seen in years on that level of television. And I just think like, so what if he tapped out, bro? Like, so what?
Yeah.
Like, so what? Who cares? Like, it's the moment, bro. Like nobody cares. Nobody's gonna care that John Cena tapped out. They're gonna remember him in the middle of the ring, taking his shoes off, taking off his bands, everybody coming out and slapping the mat, and the video that they gave, and the emotions that he had when he saw Vince McMahon. And listen, bro, I understand the Vince hate, bro, but like Vince gave people opportunities to make millions of dollars fake fighting, bro.
Yeah.
You I don't care, bro. He gave them opportunity. People are always gonna love Vince McMahon, and just because of situations that you may or may not know about, you have a certain, view on the man. But people who've been in rooms with him, who he's willingly given opportunities to make generational money, they will always honor that man. And it doesn't matter what you say. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, when he saw Vince McMahon, he got emotional. And that's what people are going to remember, not the fact that he tapped out. I promise they won't remember that in 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I love that he tapped out, and I love the way he tapped out because it pushes Gunther's legend. It pushes his future. He has that. He has that to go off of. He can pull that out anytime he wants when he's getting into a big match, and let another great when he retires them, because he's going to be considered the legend killer. They've
That's
already
where we're going. That's where we're
That's where
going.
we're going. And okay, so House, you speak so well when it comes to these things. Like you definitely know how to speak to the ones being the critics in a way that is not attacking and things like
Yeah.
that. You don't stoop to their levels.
Right.
I do. I enjoy the sewers. I live there. Pennywise is my neighbor. I tell him he's a little creepy, but we move past it. He doesn't throw shit on my lawn. I don't throw shit on his lawn. We're good.
Fair.
But to criticize John Cena in the way he went out, that just shows that you have no idea about wrestling. So therefore, your opinion does not matter because John Cena pushed a story that is going to help push a monster in which we need. Gunther needs to be the monster that they are building.
Yep.
That is how you create better stories later on, because now he is somebody who they look at. A young guy can be like, he took out John Cena, and that can be a part of the storyline. Then you're bringing John Cena's name in there. Those who got upset that Vince McMahon's face popped on there, you are the ones that eat up anything that is put out there and then go to a Starbucks and get on a computer and claim how smart and intelligent you are because you have a piece of paper from a place that steals your money and promises you an education. College graduates, to me, especially Ivy League ones who do a lot of these writings, my toilet paper is more valuable than your diploma you hang so proudly up behind your fucking laptop while you sit in whatever bistro or whatever little shack you have, and you're like, John Cena's a jerk because he got emotional because the guy who created John Cena and gave him the platform said thank you for doing what you did and honoring the man he helped create. You know, go if you want to play I hate people who act like this. Why don't you go to the Howard Stern episodes in which John Cena appeared on? Why don't you hear about how he would talk about the ring rats that he would collect? Since you're so worried about things of that nature, why are you not going back and talking about that? Oh, is it because it's his retirement match, so you should give him a day where you don't criticize him for that? Shut the fuck up. You are clout chasing mad. That's you. You only clout chase because you've seen somebody get upset and post something. So you jump onto that because you think that there's a multi-million dollar box at the end of victimhood. Shut the fuck up. I love the business opens up doors for anybody to join us and to be a part of this. But so I can plainly see some of you have never been hit in real life for your opinions. And, maybe we collect some money, we hire some people to go out there and do that for these people. Find them and just give them a little smack when they have an opinion.
Bro, people just get on the internet and say anything, bro. That's why that's why I like to have open conversations about wrestling, bro. Do what we do here because, at least when we do this here, even if there's a differing opinion, it's like, bro, it's wrestling. It's so open ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so open ended to be able to have these conversations. We got a new chatter here. Fans
like
aren't mad
this.
that Cena, fans aren't mad that Cena lost. They're mad because they got their feelings hurt. Bro, come on, bro. Let's talk about it. Like, that's what we're saying, bro. I'm sorry because it's a good point.
It is.
Equisitions 21. So shout out to that. It's a good point. But like, bro, he did it all the right way. It was what needed to be done. And how I know that it was, and no, I'm not just, oh, he's just trying to be different to be different. No, bro, this is really how I feel. There was videos out there and reports that Gunther had to be escorted by security and police to leave the building because fans were following him saying, fuck you, Gunther. Bro, it worked. It worked. That's it. That's it, bro. We ain't seen heat like that in a long time.
Since Jerry Lawler had to come out with a gun to his car to shoot
Bro,
motherfuckers.
this is what it worked. And one of the reasons why Cena tapped out is because if you saw the flow of that match, I remember the ending. Gunther was like a fucking pit bull or a fucking shark that smelled blood in the water. Every second he got to clamp on that sleeper, he clamped it on. And then every single second that Cena created some space, he clamped that damn sleeper right back on. And then he kept trying to create space and he clamped it back on. It's clear that Gunther was not going to quit with the elbow action. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna choke you the fuck out. I'm choking you out. And Cena was like, okay, I get it, bro. You're choking me out. I know you're not gonna stop. Like, here's the thing: the reason Cena tapped out in my mind, in storyline, because out of storyline, in my mind, I just think he was relieved it was over. To be honest, I just think he was relieved it was over. But in storyline, I think John Cena was like, this dude's not about to quit. He's not about to stop choking me. No matter how much I clamp it, like he took that sleeper off of him at least 4 different times. And within 30 seconds, Gunther was back again on his ass, putting him in that sleeper. Gunther was determined, motherfucker, you're going to sleep or you are tapping out. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Gunther got elevated from that, and I see the vision just like our new chatter here said, too many people in their feelings to understand what they was really putting out.
Yeah. And it's 100% true. And OG Tony, you hit exactly where my mind was when I heard these guys talking about retirement. Gunther will retire AJ and Brock. It will happen.
Yeah,
And when it
that's
does
Gunther's
happen,
aura now.
yeah. And when it does happen, it's going to be in ways that are like this, to where it's personal, because you are building a character, you are showing a story. It is not, look, all those promoters out there who have said, well, I'm, you know what, storylines are nonsense, those are secondary. They're not secondary. This is a form of entertainment. If we want to watch,
Yes, man.
if we want to watch fake fighting, I don't know where you find it anymore. Boxing, is that where you find it? A Jake Paul match? Is that where we're at?
Those are
Logan
definitely
Paul,
staged, bro.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. So if I want to watch that, okay, there, I'll go there. But no, I come to wrestling because it's, yes, we understand it's choreographed movements in which give them the least likelihood to get injured so they can keep performing and putting on the show. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's also being on a mic. It's also making me hate you. It's also making me like you. It's also making me buy your merch. There's a lot of moving parts. It's not just getting in a ring, waiting for the bell, and then following the script. It's not that. So when we get to Gunther, he needs to be this massive giant that is from another country that is here to destroy every bit of wrestling that we love. And that's how you keep him interesting. That's how you get the New Jack thing, where you say some crazy shit on a microphone and then the sheriff has to escort you out of town because white people hate you and they after you. It's insane to get this heat to where you have to have people help you out of the arena.
Yep.
You're doing your job.
That's magic, bro. And to be able to do that in 2025, bro. To be
Yes.
able to do that when we know what the business is, we understand. If you got people so riled up that they're following this man out, and I don't think, like, I honestly, I don't think anybody was going to give him like actual harm. I think they just wanted to heckle him. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that people, respectfully, I just don't think people were as tough as they were back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they were really invested and thought it was real. They were ready to fight back then.
You know, the kids that were out there chasing Gunther out of the back. It was the Make-A-Wish kids that were waiting for Cena to get back there. You got a bunch of kids just, that's their last wish. And Gunther, you're a dick. I hate. Do you see the chunk-a-monk that they brought up to the front row yelling at Gunther?
Oh,
And he's just
yes, I saw that
laughing in his
video.
face.
I'm like, bro, Gunther just created that kid's villain era right
Yeah.
there. Like, It's to be able to exude that type of emotion, bro.
Yes.
This is what people are. They're so caught up in. Oh well, this is how wrestling should be, and right now he should have wrestled this guy, and oh, it should have went like this, and there should have been this many storylines, and there should have been a tournament. They should have had Edge. Blah blah blah. Bro, you don't get it. They just made Gunther. They elevated Gunther to another level,
Yeah.
to where people aren't just watching him because he's the ring general. It's because this guy's a fucking dick because he's taking
Yes.
out all of our heroes and legends.
Yes. And now that young Cena fan, for the small amount of time he's been on this earth and he's known about John Cena for this final tour, there's a greater chance he's going to continue watching because he wants to see someone destroy Gunther. So they just made a lifelong fan.
Bro, I know cats that grew up hating Ric Flair their entire life. I know people who grew up hating Triple H their entire life. Now we're going to have a whole generation of kids that are going to grow up hating Gunther for the majority of their life until they understand wrestling a little bit better. And then, like I did with Triple H, appreciated Triple H, because in those days I hated that motherfucker. I was 12, 13 years old watching him take out The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and those were the guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I hated Triple H. But now I appreciate Triple H. Many people hated Ric Flair, but they appreciated Ric Flair. That is going to be a whole young group of fans that are going to grow up hating Gunther and then possibly later in their lives appreciating him for his greatness. But I appreciate Gunther now because I think Gunther truly is one of the best overall in-ring performers in WWE right now. I think it makes sense for him to be where he's at. I know we all wanted it to be somebody else. I definitely wanted it to be Carmelo Hayes, but now I understand. It would have been fun, but now I understand what the goal was for this, and that is to take somebody who they want to ascend to that next level, they know can get there, but they need more of a why. And the why for Gunther is, I'm gonna take out all your heroes and legends. Yes, I could probably win the World Heavyweight Championship again, but I'm having more fun pissing off the crowd, taking out their favorites, the people that they've watched. I could definitely see him being the one take him and versus AJ Styles. That come on, bro. Yeah. Come on, bro. That's nuts. That would be nuts. Him, Brock Lesnar, nuts. That's what you guys aren't understanding with somebody like Gunther. If you are playing WWE 2K, playing my GM mode, he's a specialist because he meshes with everybody. He goes in there and he can have a match with everybody. So that's why they're giving him this role. You know what I'm saying? Gunther is going to be one of the guys. Look at the baby faces that they're going to make when they take down Gunther. That's it too.
OG Tony, you fucking get it. This is why when we criticize wrestling commentators, you're never in that group.
Because he gets it.
You get it. You understand what the fuck we're talking about.
I'm telling you, that's just what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and ride this out. Call this a great episode. Chat's been amazing. Love you guys for always coming through. But before we slide out of here, I want to ask one final question. Gunther, he's the conversation now. He's the pivot point. Thank you, John Cena, for everything that you have given to the business, everything that you've done over the last 23 years, the people that you've inspired, everything. Thank you. I loved him. I hated him. For me, John Cena, in my mind, was how people feel about Kobe Bryant in basketball or like Tom Brady in football. They hated him because of his greatness. It was annoying greatness because it was continuous and it didn't stop for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It was complete continuous dominance. So I had that relationship with him. So thank you for all that, all those feelings. Opened me up to indie wrestling, because it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have pivoted to indie wrestling the way that I did, because I was so sick of WWE. So thank you for that. But just thank you for 23 years of all just that dedicated service, bro. Good times, bad times, no matter what, he stuck it out, and he stuck it out to the very end and elevated people through it. And that brings us to Gunther. Gunther now has so many accolades. Longest reigning UK champion, WWE UK champion, longest reigning intercontinental champion, one of the most prestigious titles in WWE's company. Uh, I believe now a two-time world heavyweight champion, and the owner of the retirement of now Goldberg and John Cena. We're gonna slide out of here, call this a really great episode, but I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts now? What's next for Gunther?
That's a good question. Do we see him destroy? Do we see him get a title back? What do we see with Gunther? I would like to see the monster still be built. I like the chase with him.
Yeah.
We have AJ. It appears AJ's next in 2026. That
Yes.
is officially announced.
Possibly Lesnar, like you talked about earlier. Possibly.
Possibly Lesnar. What if they both go to SummerSlam and it's Gunther versus both of them in a three-way dance?
That would be sweet.
I mean,
That would be sweet.
it would be sweet, but also there's the other side of, do you want AJ's last match to be a three-way dance?
Right. Sure.
Unless, now, if you throw me a six-sided ring in that three-way dance, I'm hooked. I'm there with him. But I know he's not a fan of the six-sided ring anymore.
Yeah.
He said it hurt a lot more. But I do want to see that destruction. I don't know if I need Gunther as my title holder anytime soon. Because does it really add to anything right now if he's holding a title?
It doesn't.
I mean,
it doesn't.
I think we can build. I think there's a possibility for better storylines being built around that title with other guys than throwing it on Gunther and letting him just run around and have another title run of some sorts of longevity. So I would like to see him chase after these guys for the next year. A Miz interaction that could be fun, because you know what, with Miz's moment that he had in this Cena's last thing, I miss that Miz. I miss the cocky, arrogant, I can do anything and everything Miz, and I'm gonna get under your skin. I like that. To have Gunther beat that out of him again could be interesting.
Yeah.
You could have 3 matches in that, in which the final match is some type of stipulation match, and Gunther beats the crap out of him in that to finally where Miz comes. Because I don't think Miz probably has that much more left in him.
He probably doesn't, but bro, dude's been putting in work. Like
that's
I think that his in-ring ability, like I get what you're saying, but I honestly think watching his work for the last like year or so, I think he's the best in-ring that he's ever been, because there's never been a time in his career where he was doing springboard moves, and now in this late age, I've been seeing him do topes, springboards, and I'm like, Miz never did stuff like that. So that proves to me that he's been putting in work. I'm a huge Miz guy, like Nick is here in the chat. Definitely agree, first ballot Hall of Famer, for sure. He's held all the titles in the company, bro, twice.
Yeah.
Like at least twice. Like that dude is amazing. Him and Gunther could really tell a great story for sure. But I don't know because maybe not like immediately. Because my question is like, what do you do with him like in the short term future, like in the next few months? Because if they're making him the man who retires AJ Styles, that's not until the end of 2026. And even if it's true about Brock, that's not even until summer of 2026. So what do you do with him going into WrestleMania? And I do think that there is a reality where maybe he can either win the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, or whatever. And I think there might be a time where Gunther might come for Cody. I think that he might try to transition for the Undisputed Championship, a title that he hasn't touched before.
Yeah.
And I think that with them, they keep flirting with Cody and Drew McIntyre. And what if what if we're right about Drew McIntyre? What if Drew McIntyre truly is just a placeholder now for people to do something else, and Drew McIntyre is just a placeholder until about until February, when Gunther wins the Royal Rumble and decides, you know what, I've held big gold twice. I wanna touch the title that everybody perceives to be the most important title in the company. I flirted with that title twice, but now Cody, I'm letting you know my intentions are coming towards you, and that would be something to freshen up Cody, and that would be something to give Gunther a new objective besides the same title, and he's not going to retire anybody until possibly at least summer or the end of 2026. I think there's a possibility where the conversation changes, and now Gunther is now finding himself in the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship picture.
That could, I mean, I could see that happening. It could be fun too. We had Daniel, well, we had Nick chime in. We discussed that in the first half of the
Yeah,
show. I had Javon
yeah,
Evans,
we talked
and
about Evans a lot, big
yeah,
time.
that he was my personal breakout of last night.
Sol Ruka had a great performance.
Soul
Sol Ruka
Ruka
had
too.
two great.
We had an argument for everybody who was
Oh yeah,
involved.
oh yeah.
Um, we also had this. Daniel is letting
Ooh.
us know this, and I can
Hold
agree.
on.
I can agree to a point, but here's my issue with this is because Kevin Owens is entertaining
He is.
outside of a match. Also,
Oh yeah.
Drew is only entertaining inside of a match. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's what I've witnessed. That's what I've watched with him. But I do understand where you're coming from on this, Daniel.
I think listen, I think you're both right because what you're saying is 100% true, but I also think Daniel's right too because this is the exact role that Kevin Owens was playing and played it better. We all know he played it better. That this time last year, leading up to the Royal Rumble, when Kevin Owens and Cody had that ladder match at the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, and then Owens got injured after that, and they stopped it from there.
Yeah.
This is the exact role that Kevin was playing, and once again played it better. Drew's playing it now. They might carry Drew up until Royal Rumble, just like they did with Kevin Owens. Then he loses the big match against Cody. Then you can pivot towards Cody, the biggest babyface in the company with the biggest title, to Gunther, now the biggest heel in the company after retiring, after retiring John Cena and Goldberg and pissing everybody off and boasting about it probably for a month. He's going to pivot and try to go to the next thing. I understand there's people out there that's saying that Roman Reigns is going to go up against Cody again for a trilogy, I believe it is, at this coming WrestleMania 42. But I truly think that maybe possibly the bigger billing match could be Cody Rhodes versus Gunther.
Yeah, there's no possibility about it. That's what it should be. If it's not, I don't need to see a trilogy.
I
I'm
don't
good.
either. We
I'm
saw that.
good.
We saw that with Roman and Brock. It's done.
You,
It's been done. It's
yeah,
been done.
you got to find a different way to keep me interested in Roman if that's what you're wanting me to keep interested in.
Yeah.
He's coming up to the point where I know we get a chapter change with between the tribal chief to the one whatever he is now. I get
The
it. I get it.
OTC. Yeah.
Yeah, OTC. I get it. Totally get it. And those are fine. But are they really chapter changes, or are they just a director's cut of this chapter,
Yeah.
where you do what the director wanted to do, name changes, things like that? Because there's not really a change. There's no evolution to them. It's just a name change. So I don't need to see that third. I would like to see this though. Build up Gunther into the
Yep.
biggest heel that you possibly can, even
Yep.
more than what he is right now standing. And then let's see what happens because Street Fighter will be out by then, right? They'll
Yep.
be done with everything, and then somebody will have to go out and promote it, right? So that would
Exactly.
be
Why would you not just go with Gunther? Like Roman
Yeah.
is, it's already like, bro, it's Roman has pretty much got one foot out the door, bro. He's got one foot out of the door. Why would you give him another WrestleMania main event? I understand they're both in Street Fighter. I don't care, bro. Like, you could easily, if you want to mix it up, in my opinion, once again, this is solely my opinion. So, as of right now, we're talking about realistic WrestleMania main events before we slide out of here. I would honestly do Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then I would do Gunther versus Cody closing the show for the Undisputed Championship.
No, I love it because I really would like to see a Roman CM Punk match for a
I'd be
title. I don't
cool
know,
with that.
because I think we would get an old school wrestling match
I think
with
so.
a couple things. You know, this obviously Superman punch and spear,
Of
but
course.
I think you could play in that beat. We just had it.
Promos would be great too.
The promos would be really good too. Yeah, I'm I would be interested in a Mania uh, main events of that caliber.
It why would you
Mm,
do why would you do Punk versus Gunther again? Why
yeah.
would you do Roman versus Cody again? You're trying to make up for the shit show that you gave us last main event at WrestleMania, and you want top billing. Flip it up. This is how you keep it fresh. Why would, after retiring John Cena, why on earth would Gunther want to go back to the World Heavyweight Championship? Been there, done that. Now I want to prove I'm the top guy, I'm the top dog. Cody, I'm coming for you. That's the next thing. Logically, it's the next thing for Gunther to do.
Yeah. And plus, if that after if let's say he let's say this happens and he beats Cody, um that logically gives a reason why Cody would take a break, and then that would
Exactly.
logically give him a reason when he comes back he's even more fired up than before.
Yep.
And so you're doing amazing things there. Yeah. I'm there with you on that one. But we'll see it unfold. Uh
Oh, yeah.
I totally agree with you there, Daniel Garcia.
Yes,
She's
sir.
really setting fires and taking her 5 minutes and running with it.
Yes, Maxine Dupree, incredible talent for sure, and only getting better. I thought that promo they did on Raw was really good, cinematic, and was the introduction of the low key legend, Bloodsport Natty. I mean, just fire to me, and I really enjoyed that. But listen, let's slide out of here. Call this a really great episode. I got the rest of the day spent with my family. It's my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to my wife, Kayla House, my better half, and definitely gonna spend some time with her and the family and make it a good Sunday. It's snowy outside, so we're planning on staying out of that. But my man Voice, I got to give it to you. I got to throw it to you because you do so much here at In Your House. Where can they catch you and everything that you're doing?
All right, fans. So if you are ready to catch more of the voice and a little of the chaos in goblin form, he is Kevin Calloway. He is the Chaos Goblin, and it is I, the voice. And we talk about Monday Night Raw. When do we talk about that? That's on a Tuesday, and that's at 6 p.m. Where you can join me and Kevin Calloway, where we break down what you just witnessed on Monday Night Raw, and we talk about it and we get you ready for the next week and the possibilities of what could happen, what could not happen, and what Kevin will tell me I got completely wrong. So come join us. It's a fun time. That's 6 p.m. on Monday nights, where me and Kevin Calloway talk Monday Night Raw. Outside of that, we do the Wednesday. What is Wednesday? Well, Wednesday is now the ECW Watch Along. That is, look, we got a lot going on during December. It's
Yeah.
not just me, it's my co-host, House.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes we're able to do them, sometimes we're not. We want to do them every week, but when we do, the next time we get back to it, it is a highlight for Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck. And we're going to go to the four-way dance, one of the best four-way dances ever done in ECW, in my opinion. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about ECW, but it's a
Yeah.
fun time where me and House, we talk ECW. It's the ECW Watch Along, and that's on Wednesdays, usually around 6 p.m. So come join me and House where we watch ECW. outside of that, it's the Thursday show. What is that? That's our new AEW Dynamite. Yeah, where we talk about Dynamite. And me and Howse, we break it down. We watch it on Wednesday. We talk about it in our chat. And then we bring you a show where we break down AEW, because AEW took a chance on us, gave us some credentials, and said, hey, we like what you do, so talk about us. And now we're here. We're talking about them. AEW Thursdays. That's usually at 6 p.m. And notice the thing, 6 p.m. is usually when we go live during the week. So come join me, come join Howse, and come enjoy some AEW Dynamite coverage.
Yes, man, and I'm enjoying that quite a bit. Like my man said, you give us an opportunity, we're going to talk about your show. The good, the bad, and the ugly, we talk about it all, and we're honest about it. And I appreciate the fact that they saw that and saw that we're not just going to talk good about everything. We're going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And, the fact that they're still like, hey, they do it the right way. That's what keeps me going, man, is knowing that no matter what we're saying it in a way that is entertaining and that people can understand. And Thursday shows are fun. ECW Watch Along, also fun. Always great to be able to go back and watch one of the great promotions of the 90s and early 2000s, man. So that is always fun. And man, we got a lot of stuff moving. We got the Squared Circle Expo March 27th and 28th in Indianapolis. Come check us out. Come check out all the great talent that is going to be there. Of course, we're going to talk about that and cover it as much as we can as new talent is announced. New things that are going on with the event are announced. We will talk about it here at In Your House. And guys, that's all part of the work. And that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for the voice, Josh, Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Kon. Hey, O'Kon in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Proper in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some